All right, today is the day that we start on the mini ramp project. If you've been following this channel for the last year or so, you know that we moved into a warehouse back in December of 2020, and it has been amazing for all of my companies as well as my skating. Having a place that I can skate whenever it's cold or wet, or you just feel like going out skating and it's dark outside or something has been amazing for me. But there's always been one thing missing, and that is some good transition. So we had this set up as a flat area with two little quarter pipes on each end that you could grind a box in the middle. That's been working out great. We've tried experimenting with other setups, adding a down box, adding some longer coping, and unfortunately we haven't been able to find something that worked really well in the space. So we're just going for broke. I rented a small storage unit around the corner, moved all of the extra inventory into that storage unit, and now I have space to build a proper mini ramp. So this area is almost perfect for a little mini ramp. It's not going to be a tall mini ramp, but it's going to be a nice wide mini ramp. So we have 19 feet from this side of the TV screen all the way over to where the shelving starts over on the right. That's going to be a perfect amount of room to get up on the coping, do a few switch ups, get a nice pose out of it, and then come back in. From the wall to the other wall, we've got 19 feet as well. So we're going to have a nice 19-foot square mini ramp. That's not a super long amount of space for us to have the transition and the decks and the flat bottom. So we're sticking with a 3-foot tall mini. They're going to have 6-foot transitions, which might be a little tight, but because it's so short, I think it's going to be a really good transition for this space. So we ordered all of the wood. It came in the end of last week. Today is day 1. We're going to do this over a few days. There's a lot of work. I've built half pipes and mini ramps before, and I've built plenty of ramps, and I always underestimate how long it takes. But today, my goal is the 3/4 inch plywood right behind me. I'm going to try to measure that out and cut out all of the transitions. Because we're making a 19-foot wide mini ramp, we're going to need 2 8-foot quarter pipes and then 1 3-foot quarter pipe on each side. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. That's 6 sheets of transition that I'm going to need to cut out. It's going to be a lot of work, but you got to start somewhere. All right, so the transitions are cut. It took a long time, but thankfully using the same template every time made it a lot easier. I didn't have to measure every single time. So 6 total quarter pipes. Now we got to cut down all these 2x4s. All right, so I cut a few dozen 2x4s. This should be enough for me to get at least 2 of the quarter pipes done. I'm going to start laying them out and putting in the ribs to these quarter pipes. So just with these 2 quarter pipes, it looks amazing in here. I am so excited. Definitely a tip for getting these quarter pipes done. You're not going to be able to do this by yourself. If it's an 8-foot 2x4, you're going to need a friend. I've done quarter pipes by myself, and it's the worst feeling. You're going to need to get a sawhorse or some sort of a building up a platform so that you can hold the 2x4s in place. Find somebody who can just hang out. It took us about 40 minutes or so. I had everything cut, so it was just screwing it in. But, you know, if you're just building a quick quarter pipe, 8 feet wide, just get a friend. Less than an hour and you'll be able to finish these 2 quarter pipes. Say 30 minutes per quarter pipe. So the first layer is done. Man, it looks so good. There's just so much ramp here. It is 19 feet wide, and I didn't really know how big 19 feet was until we actually made it. The flat bottom looks great. I was a little worried that the flat would be too tight, but it feels like it's going to be a nice amount of flat. So it's about 5.5 feet of flat bottom before you start hitting the transition, which should be a perfect amount so that you can still kind of get your bearings while you're dropping back in before you hit the other wall, but not so long that you're going to lose speed. There is nothing more exhilarating to see than the coping and the decks on the mini ramp. It feels like an actual mini ramp. It's so close. So we ran into a little bit of funkiness with the coping. Some of the coping on this side, for whatever reason, this side was fine, but this side was a little bit off. And I think that the reason, Matt and I kind of agree that the reason is there's a little bit of, you know, novice building here. So if we were off by a little bit in one area, after 8, 16, 19 feet, you'll be off by a little bit more. The second issue is we don't know if this floor is flat. So it's possible that it sunk down a little bit over on that side. It's possible that it's a little higher on this side. Who knows? But now that we have that coping in, now that the decks are in, it feels extremely solid, feels pretty level, and it's time for the masonite. Last lap. Here we go. All right, so weeks of work, months of planning, and we're finally done. It looks amazing. I'm not gonna lie. It's much bigger in person than it might look on video. It might look big on video, but if it looks big on video, just know that it's even bigger in person. It is 19 feet wide, 2-foot decks, 5.5-foot flat, 3-foot transition, 6-foot radius for the transition. So it is going to be the perfect ramp for learning, for old guys to get into skating and just have fun without too much risk, I hope. Only thing left now is to skate. It is boring.
Is just straight up at it. So it's like I've got room to curve, so it's like just
over it more. All right, so it's amazing. After all that work, feels so good to finally get some grinds off now. I forgot my pads in my pants, so not gonna push it today, but got a few back sides, a few front sides. A little bit of wax on that coping helped, but it is perfect. It's fast, the flat bottom is short, but I feel like it's enough speed so that you keep your speed when you drop in. And yeah, absolutely no problems getting the whole coping. It slides like butter. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions about how the ramp was built, or if you want to come visit, leave a comment in the video, and hope you have a good week.